It's safe to say that here in North Texas, we know a thing or two about cowboys, whether it's the America's team types or the kind you see at the stockyards in Fort Worth.
But did you know there's a lot of Black history within the culture that exists? Richard Solomon takes us to a farm in Fort Worth and shares how one man is working to educate others.
Every day starts the exact same way for Jared Howard.
Come on, grooming, cleaning, and feeding.
A brush and a saddle are all he needs for work. Every day, spending hours and hours on his farm as the owner of R Equine, an equestrian center in Fort Worth.
I can come out here and shovel poop for 8 hours and just be, perfect.
It's a legacy he's working to create as a cowboy. And for the last 2 years, he's taught everything from rehabbing horses to riding lessons.
This is where I get my high. Coming out here, even though I'm in the middle of the city, I'm in the middle of nowhere.
And in every single class, he also teaches a little history lesson that some people might not be aware of. Howard says the history of the cowboy runs deep, very deep in Black history.
A lot of people think this is new to us, and that's the furthest thing from the truth.
The Black cowboy is a key part of American history and Texas history. From pioneers like Bill Pickett to Bass Reeves, Howard hopes to walk in those footsteps, to expose the younger generations to a different culture or career path.
This gives those younger generations something to do other than going and dealing dope.
Because on farms just like his, there's a need for more Black cowboys.
It teaches things like responsibility. It teaches you an appreciation for nature.
And Dia Berry Mitchell backs up that claim. She's a historian, and her ancestors are cowboys. She says in the early 19th century, Black cowboys in the West worked as ropers, trail cooks, wranglers, even bronco busters. It's a culture Mitchell says should be continued.
Because we weren't given our full respects during that time, I think today it would be truly significant to have continued that tradition.
And Howard is a prime example because his legacy starts every single day on this farm.
I love that.
In Fort Worth.
I really do.
I'm Richard Solomon.
Speaking of cowboys, make sure you join us tonight at 10 as we talk with one of the best bull riders of all time, J.B. Mooney. After suffering an injury that nearly killed him, he has a thing or two to tell you about being tough. He'll share his story tonight on WFAA News at 10.
I tell you what, I love seeing, some of that cowboy history, especially for the Black cowboys and just the rich culture that, a lot of folks aren't aware of. So Good to see Richard telling that story this morning.
Yeah, also the vaqueros, can't forget about them. That's also some rich history, especially here in Texas. So you love to see those stories amplified.